Hey, and welcome to another Geek Out commentary. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
I'm Josh.
And we're continuing our celebration of Quentin Tarantino and, commemoration of the Hateful Eight with Inglourious Basterds, which is probably his most critically acclaimed film. Josh, that you kind of picked this film and part of our Tarantino legends. Do you want to elaborate at all?
It's probably one of the handful of ones out of the handful he has made that I just absolutely have loved, just nonstop from the get-go, haven't stopped loving.
You know, I'd say it's definitely one of his top 10 movies.
Yeah, yeah. Considering Hateful Eight's number 8, but so it's definitely in there. But for me, it was a toss-up between including this or Pulp Fiction. But like I said, last week with our Pulp Fiction commentary, I was like, if you're gonna do a Tarantino thing, you gotta include Pulp Fiction, and it really does kind of it was my gateway into Tarantino world.
Yeah, I'd say it would have either been between this and Jackie Brown, and I feel like this one probably would have resonated better also with our listeners as well.
Fair. Yeah, this is gonna definitely get more people listening.
More meat in the seats.
Indeed. I think this is probably overall his best movie. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite. Not to say I don't like this movie because I love this movie, but I think this is his best movie.
I feel like this is definitely one of the ones that he thinks is the best.
Sure.
He, like to the point that like the last line is just Brad Pitt looking straight into the camera, and he's like, "This is my masterpiece," and then written and directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
He
also,
does. Yeah.
this is like almost more spaghetti western than Django.
It kind of kicks off his like trilogy of westerns. What could be maybe his next film will be a western too.
Yeah. Much like John Carpenter's trilogy of Doomsday.
Right. You were saying that this has some more like western elements than fucking Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. And the working title for the film was Once Upon a Time in Nazi-occupied France, which becomes
That would have been great.
Yeah.
chapter title.
But no, I mean, I think it's great. I think the opening scene is the best thing he's ever written or directed.
Yeah.
And that's
For
saying
sure.
something because all of his opening scenes are a bingo. But this
That's
is
how you say it, right?
Yeah, this is good, man. It's a long movie, but it doesn't feel like a long movie.
It's a joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so we're watching the Blu-ray. You should be fine with your DVDs or
It's a Blu-ray.
whatever you got. We have the movie started, paused at all zeros on the counter, and I'll tell you to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Hey, Josh, this coffee you told me to drink's really good. Good
I'm
job.
glad you enjoy it.
I know my coffee's fucking good.
Good
I
job.
buy it. Sheila goes out. She buys shit. I want to taste it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine the coffee that me and Jake are drinking is exactly the same kind of coffee he's drinking in that scene.
Did any of you guys see this in theaters? Because I didn't see it in theaters.
No, I
I did. I like to enjoy
We all
Nazi
answered
killing
at
on the
once.
big
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
I will. This is
I actually saw it twice in theaters.
nice.
Oh,
This
good
is
for
the name of the
you.
song is "The Green Leaves of Summer," which is from John Wayne's version of "The Alamo."
It's like an indie film.
Bastards is spelled wrong.
People have asked him about that, and he's like, "Look, if I explain it, it takes the piss out of it. Just it's there."
Yeah.
He does.
I'm
Somewhere.
fine
He
with
does
it.
I
somewhere.
expected he would walked up to some random 5-year-old and it's like, write the opening title card for me, and they just did it in crayon.
I'm fine with it being
He did
spelled
a
wrong.
he did an article, or I saw an article where he explained it, and I don't remember what it was. There is a movie, like an old movie
Yeah.
called Inglourious
78
Basterds,
film, yeah.
spelled correctly.
Italian Grindhouse. But he had written this film like in that self-imposed hiatus in between Jackie Brown and Kill Bill,
BJ Novak.
but didn't think he was like a good enough director, and he didn't have a writing for it or an ending for it yet. So he's like, "I'll go ahead and do Kill Bill." And
I know the ending. I'll kill Hitler.
yeah,
Didn't he have this originally as like a miniseries that he was going to do?
well, he had written enough. Like Chris was alluding to, this was like in his mind at the time, this was his masterpiece. And so he had written enough material that he was like, I could make 3 movies out of this.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm going to turn it into
Mike Myers.
I'm going to turn it into an HBO miniseries. And then he was like, nah,
Yeah.
no.
Well, he said one of his friends, and I can't remember the director's name. They were out to like lunch or dinner, and he was like, "Hey, I have this idea of doing this," and his buddy was like, "I very rarely leave the house anymore to see my favorite directors. Don't make me stay home to watch one of your things." And he was like, as I was writing, they kept nagging at me, and he was like, "Damn it!" And he made it into a movie. And I'm glad he did because it's great.
Yeah. He said he used Pulp Fiction as kind of a guide because Pulp Fiction's about kind of these separate stories that eventually intertwine. So it's the same kind of thing going on here.
I like that he's just chopping at a stump.
He doesn't have any machinery. It's the only way he can take it out.
As far as opening dialogue scenes, this is probably my favorite out of all the ones he's written and directed so far in any of his films.
Yeah, he calls it kind of just a scene unto itself. Like you could just take this.
Basically, where Christoph Waltz wins his Oscar.
You could put this scene inside
Which
the
is not to say
diner
it's easy.
of Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
And it'd still be perfect.
Or the diner at the beginning of Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
And then the Django one is another classic Christoph Waltz opening where he just is the ultimate good.
This really was the movie that gave us Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was before this.
Yeah, he had primarily German cinema. And
Do you think
he said he was feeling played out? He was this and unfulfilled. This is what kind of restored his faith in his job.
humping.
He John Travolted him.
Oh, the Humperdinck.
That's one of the best videos ever. He's like, ah. Do you think that kind of like I've always said, Tom Cruise is the best kind of voice for Cameron Crowe's dialogue? Do you think Christoph Waltz is like the best voice for Quentin Tarantino dialogue?
One of.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I'd say it's a toss up between the two at best.
I think Christoph Waltz. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's great, obviously, but I think Christoph Waltz there's a poetry to the way he says it.
I mean, there's a reason why he's both Tarantino films he shows up in. He's won Academy Awards for.
Yeah.
He's 2 for 2.
I think Tim Roth is also a really good one.
Oh, he is, yeah. He auditioned for Archie Hickox, but obviously, and originally it was offered to Simon Pegg, but Simon Pegg was busy doing what's that movie that was Tintin.
Oh.
And so he ended up giving it to Michael Fassbender instead.
Okay.
But Fassbender wanted to be Hans Landa, and Tarantino was like, "Look, anyone who's played Heathcliff on stage isn't going to be fucking Hans Landa." He had written it for Leonardo DiCaprio before deciding that they needed to get a native German speaker in the role. And of course, the next film, he's like, "Cool, you'll be my bad guy now." We get not Melanie Laurent, but she shows up later. But that's what's her name? Lea Seydoux from Spectre, Ghost Protocol. She's only 9 years younger than Dennis Minochet, who plays her dad.
So these two would go on to see each other again in a James Bond film.
That's right.
She's actually
My
I
how
like her a lot in
history and
Spectre.
just fate works like that.
Well, and it's like a silent role, and she goes on to have a bigger career than any other person that appears as her family in this.
Mm.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
This is one of those scenes where I've just had my dad sit and watch it. I know, Sam, I was with you where you just had your dad. Like, we were just like, just watch this scene.
My dad, this is just so, it's masterclass here.
Did you ever see Christoph Waltz do the dramatic reading of the Sesame Street theme song on YouTube? I think it was on Kimmel.
No.
Oh, boy.
He's
It's-
always on
it's
Kimmel
fantastic.
and Corden.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He's great.
I do love the way, just to jump around a little bit, I love the way that they explain the use of English in this scene.
Yeah.
Because they've clearly it's all been in French so far, and they're just like, you know what? My French isn't that great. You mind if we speak English?
Well, they also kind of explain in universe. He does it so they can't. Shoshanna's family can't understand what they're saying.
Exactly. Which I think they actually do mention also
they do,
during the dialogue.
At the end,
Right at the end.
I wonder how many glasses of milk Christoph Waltz had to drink.
Oh yeah, discuss better in private.
It isn't towards the end that that he's like, oh, by the way, I know that the people under the floorboards can't speak English,
Yeah.
or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm. Which is why right now he's having the women step out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably.
But yeah, out of all the dialogue pieces of openings and even partway throughs in films, this one kind of just keeps building of suspense of you don't know what's coming until the very end, which also really helps sell this thing.
Well, I think the big, and we've talked about, like, say 20th century Spielberg and 21st century Spielberg and 20th century Ridley Scott and 21st century Ridley Scott. I think the thing about 20th century, more accurately 90s, because he only made movies in the 90s, in the 20th century, 90s Tarantino, all his movies kind of have like a 1970s, 80s kind of cop feel, kind of like true crime feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
Starting in the 21st century, Kill Bill, he's wearing his influences like directly on his sleeve. Like he does
literally wearing the yellow tracksuit.
Yeah, he's like not even like trying to hide it. He's like, yeah, I fucking love like grindhouse movies. Yeah, I fucking love like westerns. And so I think, yeah, this is kind of, we're starting to see that influence continues here. Another reason he held off on making this movie after he was done with, right around the time he's working on Kill Bill, he's thinking about coming back to this, and he's noticing everyone's making World War II movies. You know, he sees, like, The Thin Red Line. He sees Wind Talkers with Nicolas Cage. He sees all that stuff. And
Poor
he's like,
guy.
yeah, he's like, I can hold off a little longer. So then he goes off and does, like, Grindhouse. And I was listening to an interview with him. He's so bummed that, because he was like, Grindhouse is one of those things that if it worked, every 3 movies, me and Robert Rodriguez would do a Grindhouse.
I would have loved that so much.
I love how efficient he takes his work here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's one of the beautiful parts about this scene, too. Just how meticulous everything has to be.
Like, and
he's German. They're known for being precise.
That too.
I don't say this often. Well, like rarely ever. But if I would
love
ever
the
be
Germans.
grilled by a Nazi, I'd want him to be as efficient, as nice as this gentleman here is.
What?
Despite the fact he's probably going to kill me in the end of it.
If I had
But
to make,
you're going to be charmed.
I mean, I know what you're saying. But
yeah,
it's like,
if I had to make the pick, it would be the guy with the glasses from Raiders of the Lost Ark, so I could burn
Elton
a
John?
symbol into his hand.
Elton John Nazi.
Yeah, evil Elton John.
That's a good pick too, Sam.
Yes.
good solid pick.
I'd
Good
pick.
answer.
Good answer. Good
You,
answer.
Chris,
Survey
if you want to
says.
be grilled by a Nazi right before you go out,
I'd pick,
I'm going to go with Mel Gibson.
That's below the belt. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
From the hypothetical movie pitched by the Sklar brothers, What Jewish Women Want.
I'm gonna go with Neville Sinclair from The Rocketeer.
ooh,
Classic.
another song.
Hey,
yeah.
he'd take me out to the South Seas Club. We'd
Yeah.
have some soup that would spill everywhere.
Yeah.
With notes floating in it.
And then
maybe
throw you
you'll
out
meet
of his,
the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
His,
the key. That's the key.
Zeppelin.
Oh yeah.
His dirigible.
Where's the rocket?
Check out the right house. Lothar. When he like looks at him, just like dangling, basically unconscious. I'm gonna talk about the Rocketeer this entire movie. I can talk about that movie like twice
Nazis.
in the span.
Yeah.
Nazis. Let's talk about the Rocketeer, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, look how calm they both are here. He's getting ready to light up a
He's probably
corncob
feeling
pipe.
pretty on edge.
Yeah, he's putting on a face.
Well, he's doing it very, very well.
I
He's
feel
probably
like
had to
half
do
the
it
reason why
before.
he threw water on his face was so that you couldn't tell that he was sweating profusely from nerves. Nerves.
Smoking my corncob pipe. One of my dreams, and this is probably never going to happen.
Never say never.
Just
Okay,
like Justin Bieber. Is
Goonies
to-
never say die.
Yeah, I know.
But he didn't say die.
But in doing so, the Goonies say die every time they say that phrase. But the
Much like Justin Bieber saying never twice.
the one of my dreams is to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Los Angeles with Quentin Tarantino and the RZA, and just talk about like the Shaw Brothers or like Raymond Chow.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I want to go to the Slaughtered Lamb with Max Landis and just talk, movies and comic books and wrestling.
Wrestling,
probably.
yeah.
I'd like to actually be able to go to a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles while it's open.
Right?
And dine at
Unlike
it.
that one time where we were there
Yeah.
and we just took a picture in front of the sign because it was closed.
Yeah.
Was it like for renovations or was it like just not operating?
I think it was. It seemed.
I think it was just
I think it was
closed.
just closed for the day, or maybe renovations.
Yeah,
because it was
damn
like,
you, San
shouldn't
Diego,
it be
you
open right now?
Yeah, San Diego, you failed us on that one trip.
Well, Los Angeles too, apparently.
All of California failed us.
Yeah. Just like their water system.
I'd like to have. I like to have a beer with Jason Momoa and talk about his pecs.
It's a nice physique you got there, Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa, I really like your pecs.
I'd love to discuss the Ghostbusters franchise with Dan Aykroyd.
Jason Momoa?
No, Dan
Yeah,
Aykroyd.
you know what?
Oh.
Let's talk about it with Jason Momoa.
Today on Talking with Jason Momoa.
Who's your favorite Ghostbuster, and why is it Winston?
Yeah.
I was about to say Ernie Hudson.
And why are you wrong?
I mean, my favorite's always been Egon.
Yeah.
How important was
Solid
it?
choice. Solid choice,
Yeah.
Sam.
Good answer. Good answer.
Were you more of a Venkman?
Yeah. Although, like looking at it realistically, not that great of a Ghostbuster, but a wonderful character.
Yeah.
Great con man.
Yeah. Great talk show host.
Hairless pets. Weird.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Remember that scene in the Momoa Conan where he holds both
No.
swords and he looks at him and he has that shot where he's just like, I'm metal. I'm so fucking metal. The movie ends with him just screaming, by the way.
So does this movie for Christoph Waltz.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, Conan's is more of like
I'm a badass.
Yeah, I'm a badass. Not that I'm having a swastika card on my forehead.
I love just how playful Christoph Waltz's character is. Like, I think that's what sells it. Like, he is a ruthless motherfucker because he's a Nazi among Nazis, and yet he's like, "Ooh, that's a bingo."
And he embraces the kind of the power that the rise of Nazism has given him in society.
and the fear of him specifically.
He loves his reputation.
Yeah, I mean, that's the line that he's saying right now.
Well, they talk about a lot of actors, especially in like the 60s when they were like doing World War II movies like crazy, how it was scary that when the actors would play Nazis when they were in the uniform, they felt gross because they felt this sense of power wearing the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, the Germans
Well, it makes
love,
them stand more erect too. The way it's starched.
Makes
Yeah.
Sam stand
and
more
the
erect.
Germans loved giving
FYI, I don't love Nazis.
I don't get sexually turned on by Nazis.
the Germans loved giving medals. Like they wanted the accomplishment of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, for crying out loud, they had the Hitler Youth Club.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, America
They gave
has
a
the
knife out for
junior
those.
ROTC.
Yeah, it was a way to
Indoctrinate.
the
Yeah.
youth.
But I mean, they gave them
Yeah,
a
that was like
knife
4
for
syllables
joining.
right there.
So yeah, they love sprinkling trinkets out for everything.
Oh
for
yeah,
stuff like
'Cause
that.
They wanted to
SMRT.
look very accomplished.
Yeah,
The Iron Cross being one of the big ones.
That's not one word.
Squirrel.
Pronounces it like Pacino in Dog Day
No, it's
Afternoon.
the best movie
I don't
ever
spread
made.
diseases.
The best.
For those of you out there that don't know, Josh's nickname is Squirrely.
there's a great action figure variant cover for Squirrel Girl, and it's like
Josh's favorite superhero.
it's because they do these action
It
cover
is.
variants, and usually it's like they have the it looks like the action figure box and like one or two variant like different hands. For Squirrel Girl, they have like one hand where she's holding Dr. Doom's helmet. They have like so much. They have like the whole thing is filled with other like variants for Squirrel Girl. It's pretty great. Are you reading that comic book at all?
No, but I need to.
Oh, you should.
Get it on Comixology.
Yeah.
But I like physically holding the comic.
Well, then don't get it on comics.
Get it on eBay.
You know, I would love for Comixology to start sponsoring us. All the
Oh yeah.
free advertising we give them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hear that, Comixology?
Yeah, we
You would've
we
said-
plugged
I'm sure
your
you don't.
death of Captain Marvel.
If you
Yeah,
want
that's
to
right.
send me
Well,
physical
$5.
copies of Squirrel Girl, I won't say no.
It's not really.
I mean,
what they're known for.
Comixology probably won't do that, but
But if they
but
want
the-
to,
Zach. Squirrel.
where's that movie
The Squirrel Girl movie?
It's probably
or
coming.
Netflix series?
What if in Infinity War Part 2, Thanos is just about to just fucking rock
Wreck shit.
and then all of a sudden... Well, no, because she takes out Galactus?
She's
Or is it
taking out
Thanos?
Galactus. She's taking.
She takes out Thanos, right?
Did she take out Thanos?
I don't know about Thanos. Definitely
It's
Doom.
Galactus,
Definitely
yeah.
Galactus.
I thought she has gone toe to toe with
I wouldn't be
Thanos.
surprised.
Well, she's gone toe to toe,
Yeah,
but I
I
don't
wouldn't be
think.
surprised
yeah.
if she took taken him
Look
down.
at that pipe.
And,
look
and
at
then
that
therefore
pipe.
she took him out.
The latest issue of Secret Wars.
Oh, that's right. It's still going on.
Yeah,
Is it issue 7?
It's a secret.
issue 8. Issue
Oh,
8.
so this is it.
There's one because
Or they-
remember
they
they
do it 9, yeah,
added
that's right,
a
9,
ninth
yeah.
issue.
What's
Now,
going on in it?
Is
'Cause
this
I'm not-
him showing off
Yeah.
Yes.
with his pipe?
Yeah, it's him. It's him being like, "Look at my big dick, and
Yeah.
therefore look at my tiny dick."
Is like shit going even more wild in issue 8?
The big marquee moment. There's a couple. It's Thing versus Galactus
Nice.
and Doom versus Thanos.
Ooh.
Inglourious Basterds, folks.
Now he's walked into this house exactly knowing what's going on
Yeah.
there.
Pretty much. He's like, look, no German would think to look under the floorboards because no German would be willing to hide under the floorboards.
Like the sinister turn in Christoph Waltz's face.
Now here
Like
he's
it's not a
he's
game anymore.
complying.
Yeah, because he knows the jig's up.
Yeah, but I mean he's, Christoph Waltz gave him the option to comply, and he has.
Yeah.
You have 2 seconds to comply.
Have you ever seen the unrated cut of RoboCop? When the guy gets
No,
shot, and
I
it's
want
just
to.
like it's so unnecessary, but he just gets because our version it's Squib Central, but they go even like longer.
And there's your cue, Josh.
But regardless, it doesn't make a difference for him, though, if I remember correctly.
For who?
The farm owner.
Well, it's not the farm owner that the masquerade, as Hans puts it, is so the Dreyfus family doesn't know that the jig's up.
Right, but if I remember correctly, everyone gets eviscerated. Except for the Nazis.
And the Shoshanna.
Farmer doesn't get killed.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't remember him getting.
We
killed.
see him take kind of like recoil in horror as his floor is shot to pieces, but he doesn't get shot himself. And I'm willing to believe Hans Landa kind of honors his agreement with him. He's like, look, if you tell me where they are,
Yeah,
we won't harass you for the rest of our occupation of your country.
I think he even says that like for the rest of the war. Like
Yeah, he says as much, and I have no reason to doubt that he wouldn't honor that. That's a nice visual callback to The Searchers right there by John Ford.
but I also liked how efficient it was to be like, and there's one.
Yeah, he can hear her scurry, kind of
And
like
then
on her hands and
He
knees.
goes out of his way to just look and be like,
This is why this
and
scene
there.
is great.
It's like, what are you doing? Don't you have a gun? Why didn't you shoot?
The way he ends this like marathon of just dialogue.
Horror.
Ain't no rigs.
Wait for it.
He's got the death's head on his hat.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wait for it.
Zigzag, girl, zigzag.
Run for the tall grass.
I think in the novelization or something, or in the original script, the reason he doesn't shoot her, he's like, it's no contest at this point. Like, if I have to, I'll find her again.
I was
20
took
minutes
it that
later.
yeah. I always took it that he wouldn't be able to hit her.
Yeah, because it's a pistol.
Yeah. At the same time, he's got like 3 Nazis in a car.
Yeah, I mean if he wanted to chase
sure
it,
took his
but-
sweet time getting to that door.
Yeah. Now, Tarantino had wanted to work with Brad Pitt for a while, and, he's like, this is the project for him.
I love just like how over the top his country is.
He kind of plays it for laughs, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really-
really very Tarantino fashion. Like he's a caricature.
All the outrageous performances in this film are great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Largely coming from this squad.
Yeah.
The titular characters, yeah.
Gearbox a while ago was going to be making a video game kind of where you'd play as like a squad of allies who were very much caricatures.
Like Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, but kind of similar to the outrageousness of these characters. It was going to be one of the Band of Brothers games.
Oh.
That eventually became its own game, but I think it's recently been like shelved.
They kind of did it, you could argue, kind of with like Bad Company 1 and 2.
Yeah, but I mean, like, really outrageous, like
even more over the top.
like a Native American with like a mohawk and like throwing tomahawks at guys, like
go a nukchuk and turn
To a giant.
yeah, like that level of outrageous, like extreme stereotypes.
I like that they never in film explain the hanging scar on Aldo Rain's neck.
yeah.
In the script, he survived a lynching for his bootlegging activities, but we don't. I mean, I don't know if that's still canon. You know, he mentions being a bootlegger, though.
I was about to ask where the bear Jew was, and then he just popped in out of focus in the background.
Now, you always thought that Adam Sandler would work better as the
Yeah.
Bear Jew.
Yeah,
It
because
was originally like
it
proposed.
was written for Adam Sandler, and I think the reason is we'll get to that scene, but I mean that was supposed to be Adam Sandler. So everyone like right now, like everyone be like, "Oh, what the fuck's Adam Sandler doing here? The fucking water boy? What a fucking asshole!" And then like when they introduce him, he's walking through like the fucking tunnel, and you just hear like the bat clinking and shit. And Adam Sandler walks out, and you're like, "Fuck Adam Sandler!" And then he kills that Nazi with the baseball bat to the head. At that moment, because I think Tarantino has the skill to do that, because he loves manipulating the audience.
Yeah,
that
well,
you'd be
and
like,
he
"Holy shit!" And I buy it. I would buy that he would be fantastic in this movie.
He loves putting people against type. Like, I mean, how Michael Myers is in this movie.
Yeah, although
Yeah.
that's something where I think Michael Myers is like kind of stupid.
Yeah, I don't
But-
care for it. But I feel like I agree. Like if someone was gonna turn Adam Sandler into a badass, it was gonna be Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I'm really. That's one thing I always wish I could have seen is like what that would have been like.
Yeah, the big reason for those of you at home, the big reason Sandler didn't take the role is because he was busy filming Funny People with Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Which is okay because I like that movie.
I mean, outside of seeing him beat a Nazi with a baseball bat, I still wouldn't. It wouldn't sell for me.
Well, I mean that's the big thing. If you don't believe it when you're seeing like an SNL funny man who's going, yeah, but do I'm a
It's
fucking
not
opposite
that.
ballpark.
It's-
Yeah, woo. And
It's kind of like the recent turns of
Canteen
films he
Boy?
has had, like Pixels.
well,
That's-
again,
that's Sam
that-
Levin as the from Freaks and Geeks as the painter. He's also one of the bastards. Nice dual role for him.
because I mean, like you get movies like,
Or like the one he's got on Netflix now.
well, again, these movies wouldn't have been around when this movie came out. Like, you know, Punch Drunk Love, like I feel is a movie that like Tarantino saw and was like, oh shit, because that's like a fantastic.
Shit.
Spanglish had come out before this too, which is another semi-serious role for Sandler.
Yeah, semi-serious is fine. I'm just saying the role he'd have to play in this.
I mean,
It's
it's
semi-serious.
yeah.
It's Tarantino.
There is a tongue in cheek to him playing the Bear Jew, and again, I think that manipulation of the audience, like thinking how could he do this, and then you see him savagely beat a man to death, really in his first scene, and then you see him kill Hitler. Like, I mean, come on, that's,
Pulverize his face.
Yeah,
Which Eli Roth said was like a childhood dream come
yeah,
true. He's like,
yeah.
ever since I was a kid, I fantasized about killing Hitler, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, just play Wolfenstein 3D.
yeah.
Papers, please.
Darth Vader helmets, inspiration.
Kylo Ren helmet.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. I always thought in that we were going to find out that the rest of his armor was made from remnants of Darth Vader's armor.
That'd be cool, but
If you're happy and you know it's scalp a German. Oh, that guy. He's fucking badass. I can't remember these people's names. The guy who's like in the prison.
That was
and,
quite a tasty scene.
you picked him, motherfucker.
Yeah.
that dude right there with the MG48.
Oh, Till Schweiger.
He's fucking awesome.
With the IG-88.
He'd
I
be
wish.
great as like any Marvel badass.
He
superhero, like
the reason he
Midnight.
took the role because like it's almost like a rite of passage for German actors to have to like wear Nazi uniforms.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've never done it before this film, and the only reason I agreed to do it for this film is because I got to kill Nazis while doing it.
He's so fucking awesome in this movie.
If you ever watch This Is War with Tom Hardy, he's the bad
I
guy.
have. But I think he'd be again a great Mark Spector.
Mm. If you ever watched the Far Cry movie, don't. It's directed by Uwe Boll. But if you ever did,
is that
I
him?
did.
he's the lead.
God, I love Far Cry 3.
What-
That's one of my favorite video games.
The guy, Hugo Stiglitz, is the lead. Til Schweiger, German actor. You'll see him in a second again. He has a big fucking like.
They have that when they introduce him. That's the spaghetti western moment. It's like
Yeah.
it zooms in, like the whip cracking or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's got like the same typeface as like Foxy Brown. Just
Yeah. Definitely my favorite character in this movie. The what for?
The guy, he's not him. He's Freaks Geeks.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy. He was in the Far Cry movie.
Yeah, I can definitely tell by the back of his head.
Oh yeah, it's a notable back. There it is.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes.
I remember him from that movie, which I regret watching.
I guess there's no whip crack.
There's your
But
Samuel Jackson cameo, I guess.
That's right. I want like just a prequel movie. I mean, you get it all basically here anyway, but this is
looks like-
fucking brutal.
Looks like
Stiglitz is
John
probably
Waters.
my favorite of the bastards.
This guy, yeah, definitely.
I don't really know what he's doing here.
He shoves his fucking...
I mean, I know
Yeah,
what he
but like,
does, but yeah.
he's kind of like German Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the gurgle, isn't it, Josh?
No.
It's the blood.
No,
I mean,
not even
have
just
you've
that.
seen Django, right? Because
Yeah, you're in for
There's
some
a
fun.
Oh,
shootout.
no, that right there, that's fine. But I
Red
mean,
mi-
seeing the neck go...
there's a shootout in Django that's like the bloodiest
How did you
thing
get through
Tarantino's ever done.
How did you get through the Halloween commentary again?
Yeah.
Lots of crying.
They didn't go into great visual detail.
When he kills William Forsythe.
Oh yeah.
He looked away.
That and
think
I
was
don't
taking a dump
remember.
at that
You
point.
were. I remember all your dumps.
Uh,
No, but yeah, I mean Django is brutal beyond brutal.
I like this little touch right here. When they cut back, like Hugo Stiglitz, like little, like, "Hey, what's up?" Like,
Yeah.
you'll see his wave in a second. After such a momentous introduction.
That chin. Hey.
Just yo. He's kind of like Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane and Aaron Eckhart, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, because the original cut when he premiered the film at Cannes was over 3 hours long. And apparently almost all the Bastards had like big fucking introductions. One of the notable ones that aired or was part of the Cannes footage before he edited it down was you see Hugo Stiglitz going around and getting all the Jewish people in his neighborhood in Boston to sign his baseball bat. And that, I think it's only implied here. You can see all the names on the bat, but you don't know what the backstory behind it all is. He's got the this guy's got the Iron Cross. Isn't that your father's like?
Oh yeah,
Cross
well, the
of
movie
Iron?
weird because the movie's called Cross of Iron, but yeah, that's that and Odorous Urungus from Gwar. That's yeah. My dad fucking loves the Cross of Iron. It's a great movie. Simon Peckinpah. Some of just the most like unrelenting World War II battle scenes you'll ever see, and a great, basically improvised ending because they ran out of money. Here comes Sandler. Just he's going yabba dabba doo.
So put on your yarmulke.
Yeah, it's time for Henneke.
His version kills him with like a guitar after he's done singing the
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, everyone sit down and let's sing a song.
Apparently, like Eli Roth put on like 30, 35 pounds of muscle for the role. Because he is fucking like stacked in compared to how he normally is.
I remember one time this was on like TNT or whatever, and I was watching it with my dad, my brother, and his then fiance at the time, now wife, and she was not about watching this guy's head get smashed in. I was like, it's on TV. They're not going to show the whole thing. So we're watching it. They show the whole fucking thing.
Way to
so
go,
sorry on that
TNT.
one. Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh shit, they didn't cut anything. Maybe they cut like one hit, but you see like the hit, like the initial hit. I was like, yo.
Did they cut that?
I
Presumably.
am almost positive.
I'm presuming they cut some of the scalpings too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I came in like right about here, but yeah, I think you see him in the background.
Doesn't Brad Pitt's character scalp German soldiers, granted World War I German soldiers in Legends of the Fall?
Yes. And Elliot from E.T. gets obliterated. I just want someone to put a like image of Adam Sandler, like, you know, South Park style, like Yabadoo as he like comes out.
I do like how
Warriors.
Yeah.
I do like how even though this character is like a Nazi totally, but he's so like has a noble death if you think
This guy?
about it. Yeah. Cuz he does refuse to put other German
Yeah, and he knows what's
Yeah.
coming.
He's like either way.
And it's pretty it's intense.
I think Morricone was originally he had some conflict, and so Tarantino just took the bits of pre-existing Morricone music he wanted for this movie. I don't know if there's how much original composition is actually in the film.
Levine is always just going to look like a little kid to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much me.
If only you could be on Freaks and Geeks, Josh.
Who says I wasn't?
Baseball.
English.
I like instead of cutting back and forth to like their faces, they just do the camera just follows them.
The one take track.
Santa. Sorry, the way that his collar made it look like he had the fluffy white on his cape.
Yeah. The hills are alive with the sounds of Hitler. I almost wrote that on my Wii U me verse, and I was like, that's gonna not get posted.
Number 9, Snuff.
that leaf.
Yeah, Tarantino's probably just like, leave it on. Leave it on.
God wanted it there.
It's camouflage, guys, so it can blend in.
I'm a tree. I am Groot.
Dude,
Come on, you
speaking
know
of
how
Secret Wars
wartime
number
tactics
8,
work.
Yeah.
Groot has an awesome moment in Secret Wars number
yeah?
8.
Does he turn everyone into a ball and say we are Groot?
No, he
Because
just,
that was a stupid moment.
yeah. Here's your typical victim POV shot from a Tarantino film.
German night in Paris.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's like ladies' night at the bar, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Because it's German night.
but the another one of the things that was in-
$5 cover.
Another one of the things that was in the con footage was you see Shoshanna make it to Paris and meet up with her aunt Mimu, and then take on a new identity. But Tarantino's like, you know what? I want it to, one, it's too long, and two, I want you to kind of fill in the blanks how you think Shoshanna got to Paris and got a hold of this theater.
I feel like she killed the original owners.
It's its own bloody sequence.
Yeah. Bear Jew style.
Her death was always
Steve
like super
McQueen
frustrating
in The
in
Great
this
Escape
movie.
with the motorcycle?
So what?
Is it Steve McQueen with the motorcycle in The Great Escape?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, she hitches a ride on his motorcycle, and they both ride out to Paris.
He doesn't make it out though.
I know. I always
No,
want.
she only makes it.
Yeah. Every
Also,
time
he
I
plays
see
a
that
Nazi
movie,
in that movie, which is funny.
he chases himself.
Yeah, because he was like such a good motorcyclist.
And he was having so much fun motorcycling around in Bavaria. He was like, "Yo, you need a Nazi rider too."
And the funny
right?
thing is, not only is he like they go out of their way to hide him, he like drives straight in front of the camera, stops, and then keeps going. And you're like, why is Steve McQueen there?
Yeah, why is he a Nazi now?
Yeah.
Alternate dimension.
Yeah, but as Sam was saying, like that's one of those moments where every time you watch it, you're like, maybe this time he'll make it.
And he never.
No, he's too
Does.
cool.
Too cool to escape.
He just
in a
keeps
movie
goes
called
back
The
and
Great Escape.
He just keeps throwing the baseball as the cooler king. Fuck him. Not him.
Yeah,
Nazis.
Daniel Bruhl, great German actor. You know, if you
He's
ever
great, yeah.
if you've ever seen Rush by Ron Howard, you know
Mhm.
he does a good job. If you ever seen Goodbye Lenin is a German film, probably his most notable. He also shows up as what's her name's brother in Bourne Ultimatum. He's only in that one scene.
Oh yeah. And then he's gonna be what's his face in Captain America: Civil War?
Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Wait, where is he in Bourne Ultimatum?
Frank Potente's character, who gets killed in the beginning of Bourne Supremacy. The beginning of Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne visits her brother and apologizes, basically. And then promises that he'd take care of the people responsible.
Also, which one is Oscar Isaac in? Because he's in a Bourne film.
Oscar Isaac, I think he's one of the like, you know how they have the montage of like activate the agents.
Oh,
Like,
he's just one of them.
He's just one of them.
He's so fucking good in Ex Machina.
He's not in the Renner one, is he? In the cabin?
He might be, actually. He might be in
Oh
in
yes,
Legacy.
yeah. He's the guy in. I think he's the guy in Ultimatum that like.
Or
I'm
Legacy.
sorry.
Legacy?
Legacy. That he goes and he is the guy in the cabin. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe, just maybe, we'll do a Bourne commentary series because we're getting Bourne 5 this year.
Hmm.
Not a fan of the Bourne films, Chris?
And Chris has
No.
died from
because
excitement.
of the handheld cam.
Yeah, it's what birthed the obsession with chaotic editing and
I
And
thought
also
Run Lola
they're-
Run did that.
I mean, if you really want to get into it, like the French Connection did, but like, what I'm saying is the Bourne films are what like kind of ignited it for American cinema, and it like wasn't until like 2 years ago that it ended, and even then, it still like lingers.
Yeah, you won't be pleased to know that Paul Greengrass is directing the 5th Bourne film. He directed a Supremacy and Ultimatum. Supremacy, I think, being the worst offender, where it's like dialogue sequences and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that fucking scene in Star Trek '09 where Kirk and Pine
No, you were right the first
Pike?
time. Pike, yeah.
are talking in that bar sequence after a bar fight, and they're being all calm, and the fucking camera is moving as if the cameraman is still setting up the shot, and they just accidentally hit record, and J.J. Abrams was like, keep it. Just like that leaf in Inglourious Basterds. I'm going to direct a Star Wars movie in 5 years.
According to Tarantino, in the early 90s, for producer Richard Donner, J.J. Abrams wrote the perfect Speed Racer script, like on spec.
On spec?
On spec. Obviously, that was not the script.
Speaking of which, wasn't this guy?
Daniel Bruhl isn't in. You're thinking Emil Hirsch
Oh, yeah.
from The Girl Next Door.
I mean, they both look the same, don't they?
White people with brown hair. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a
German
I see it.
features.
I see it.
there's a younger kind of quality that they have, like a childish type.
But the
thing.
guy that...
Cherubic face.
Cherubic.
Yeah, that's what I said. German features.
Yeah. That one Nazi was so happy to be there.
That Nazi
So
should have
happy
taken
to
his
see
cover
Kyle.
off indoors. What an asshole.
Mm.
Also, you don't salute
I mean,
indoors unless you're
to
getting
be
paid.
fair, she's not taking her
asshole.
cover off indoors either, Jake.
But she's not in the military.
It's just a general thing most people should do.
That's true. That's true. I
Most.
took mine off.
He's not either.
Yeah. But that's because the Nazis are assholes.
Exactly. Now you see it.
Yeah.
Wait, he just did. Assholeness rescinded.
I mean, he's still a Nazi.
Okay, he's still an asshole for that.
There,
But he's not
there's
100%.
levels of shit. There's diarrhea, and then there's just like stinky shit. You know.
He's like loving this. He's like, she totally thinks I'm super awesome.
Maybe this will make her forget the fact that my country has occupied hers.
Yeah.
And that we, as a collective group, have killed her entire family.
Yeah.
He's just 32 the third.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of this kind of comes kind of inspired by Sergeant York, to the point where, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
When
when
like an Audie Murphy.
or Audie Murphy, yeah, it's more accurate now that I'm thinking about it.
But Sergeant York was a guy who he didn't pick off that many people, but like,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did single-handedly capture over 100 German soldiers.
yeah,
during
he's like,
World War
"Bleh,"
One.
you know.
His rationale was if you shoot the Germans behind in the rear, like
Yeah.
the ones that are charging slower, the ones ahead won't know they're getting massacred, and it's like
Yeah.
brilliantly.
Well, it was also like in the trenches too. Like he would shoot them from left to right. Like so, like
Yeah.
they would just go down, and he'd also do the turkey call. He would make a turkey call because he was an expert hunter,
yeah,
and I don't know if this was like more of like the movie thing. He would lick his, do the thing, would lick his sight, and then
to
he would
take the glare off.
he would do the turkey call, and the Germans would stick their heads up, and he would just take them out. And then also, he was basically the poster boy for the Colt 1911 Colt semi-automatic pistol because as they're rushing him, he was able to take all of them down, with the pistol. Like he expelled all the ammo from his rifle, basically pulled his pistol out, and they were all dead around him. They were like, "Yo, that gun is awesome." Although I feel like in the movie either
That gun is the mad
it might have been a
notes.
different gun that he uses in the movie, regardless. But that's a fucking fantastic movie.
They
if you've
they
never seen
usually
it.
have him with a Springfield, I believe, the bolt action Springfield.
That's one of the all-time great movies.
Gary Cooper, man,
Mhm.
Pride of the Yankees,
Yeah.
which is a different film, but
Yeah. I love Artie Lang. He's like 62 in that movie playing Lou Gehrig.
yeah.
Tell me, docs, is it 3 strikes or whatever? Just like classic baseball. Yeah, but it's a great movie too.
What's she saying?
Yeah. Are you playing The Force Awakens? And are you sold out?
What does yes mean?
Yeah.
Or what does we mean?
Damn Germans won't learn other languages.
Well, it's
I mean, Americans won't either.
yeah, his driver seems to have it.
Yeah, I'd be just useless in another country.
I'd be awesome during World War II, but that's really it. I think the hot button languages are what, like everything else,
Yeah.
like Russian, Arabic, Farsi, and it's like Chinese, yeah.
Oh,
If
Russian
Fire
at a
Force, we believe.
certain point, but not for most of it.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know any of those.
Yeah.
The character's name, the SS officer's name is Dieter Hellstrom, which is Tarantino's nod to Damon Hellstrom, son of Satan, which was a Marvel Comics character from the 70s, because he's a big fan of the 70s. Like, he loves, like, Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night and all that.
Probably
He's, like,
Ghost Rider too.
Probably Ghost Rider.
Dude, imagine if he did a fucking Ghost Rider movie.
Oh, imagine if he did a fucking Moon Knight movie.
Yeah.
Though he'd probably make him talk too much.
Well, he would play on the
Multiple personality.
multiple personality stuff a lot.
That looked like he just served them a McDonald's meal.
French cuisine isn't what it used to be.
Also, this movie
La Big
highlights
Mac.
this movie highlights the amount of just different uniforms the Germans would wear.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already seen what's his face here in like 3 different uniforms.
Yeah, that's his dress uniform now. Though not his like full fucking one
No,
with like
you
the
see
white
it later,
coat and
yeah.
everything. I feel like I've seen him in like in an episode of Burn Notice or something.
Josh.
Josh,
Not ringing any burn bells.
Joshua.
Mr. Joshua, Joshua.
Joshua.
I like this little bit right here.
Yes, keep singing the praises of me during this
Just like
sexing.
imagining her take it from behind. That's how she's able to work up a smile.
Hearing a cat growl.
Yeah. What's her? Julia Dreyfus used to date Tarantino, so he wrote this role specifically for her. I can't speak German.
Just a whole lot of angry yelling, really.
Well, I mean, I know, but like I meant her character, like can't
Oh.
speak German.
Yeah.
I can. It was actually like this movie. Not humble brag at all. It was actually this movie. I was like, oh, I can understand what's being said.
Most of what I know of the German language I've learned from shooting Nazis in games.
Halt.
Yeah. Hear
9.
Scheiße a lot.
Yeah. Papers,
Achtung.
Please.
Mach schnell.
Achtung. Oddly enough, Papers,
Feuer,
Please is always
Feuer.
in English. I don't know why. Is there
what-
no German for Papers, Please?
He's in Last Crusade. He says it in German before he says it in English. When before he punches the Nazi on the blimp, he's like Fahrscheine bitte, and he's like Bex, and he's like tickets please, and then that's when he turns around and just beats the shit out of him, and then turns to everybody and goes no ticket.
Huh.
So he does. In fact, the first time he says it, he has to correct himself because he's like trying to pull it on because it like barely fits, and he's like, tickets. I mean, Fahrscheine bitte.
Yeah, Papers, Please is much nicer.
That dog looks like Slash.
It also looks like it's not real.
It looks like the Diana Rosses that Jackie Chan fights in Armor of God.
It looks like it's just a puppet. It's having its mouth be open every so often.
Yeah.
Like the Spawn CGI for the devil.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or like his like army, just like Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
level.
The Madden
Or
64.
like Tarantino's there as the puppet and just moving the mouth.
We do see his hands in the film.
We do.
We'll point it out when it happens.
Are they glorious?
Inglourious.
It's pretty horrific.
Ooh. It's actually, it's pretty crazy what he actually does. It's like, what's being said?
Yeah, this sucks.
She basically feels how I feel watching this scene because I'm not very good at reading.
And there's, I mean, it's Tarantino, so it's like rapid fire dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's part of Tarantino that had played with the idea of not having subtitles, so you would know as much as Shoshanna.
Well, originally in the
emphasizing through just her facial expressions how I feel in most public situations.
in The Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson didn't want any subtitles,
just straight up Aramaic,
just straight up, and they'd be like, "You tell the story themselves," and everyone involved was like, "That's fucking insane," and he was like, "You know what? It is."
Have you met me?
Didn't they want the same thing for like Apocalyptico? Like you just don't understand anything in that either.
Well, Apocalypto is like there's like 30 minutes of dialogue and the rest of it's just chasing and running.
Yeah, but like no understandable dialogue at all.
Do they do subtitles?
There's
They're like
subtitles.
sacrificing. Yeah,
There's
okay.
subtitles.
Yeah, but I mean, same thing for that. They didn't want subtitles.
Well, I mean, he probably didn't,
Yeah.
but they were like, again, put some fucking subtitles in. He's like, fine. What if Mel Gibson directed this movie? It would just be 2.5 hours of slaughter.
That
On sight?
there's actually that the cut to him greeting Landa is a little abrupt because there's a little more where they're talking more about like what German directors and stuff they can invite, and he like goes on a tirade about Lillian Harvey.
This is much like the in Kill Bill. Anytime that she's confronted with someone, the
That's right.
Da, 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 da. I've seen some people that are like, does Hans Landa know that it's Shoshanna? That's why he orders milk, and it's like, I don't think so. It's been like 3 years, and he never really saw her face.
Isn't the same? He's like the clean.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it says 4.
Or it's like, so it'd be okay, yeah.
So even a whole nother year.
Yeah.
Isn't he like all about like cream in this?
Yeah. Attendez la crème.
I mean, for strong, mighty bones.
bones.
Follow the ad campaign that is justified by no science.
Yeah.
Celery. Drink milk for healthy bones.
Strudels with Hans Landa.
Wasn't the next movie he did after this The Green Fucking Hornet?
Yeah, replacing Nicolas Cage.
Now he's speaking French to her now, right?
Yes.
Oui.
That's French for yes. Or ja for German.
See, some people, when he's like, a glass of milk, they're like, oh, he fucking knows. It's like, no, I don't think he fucking knows. Why would he, like, yes, he ends up turning on Hitler, but he has no idea she's going to, like, spring a trap on Hitler.
Yeah, there's no, because he doesn't, again, he doesn't see.
Clearly, he is force sensitive, just like Jar Jar Binks
No.
and R2D2.
That's right. He's like the droid.
Yeah, he R5D4.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That blows himself up because he knows the destiny that R2D2 needs to have, which is my favorite fucking story in Star Wars.
He's like the guy who takes the ice cream maker from Bespin.
Yeah.
Because it's full of rebel secrets.
I'm sure George Lucas is signing.
Thank God that's not canon anymore. Although, if I remember correctly, he does have an action figure. Because everyone has an action figure in Star
Dude, there's an
Wars.
action figure coming
Even
out. I've
we
said this
do.
before where
The viewers.
it's I don't know if it's out already at the time this is being released, but they have the Vader that Luke fights on
Dagobah?
with like the blown out face with Luke's face.
Ooh,
Cool.
that's pretty metal.
Yeah, they have a pop figure that's damaged Vader, which is cool. Like it was just his helmet off, top part of his helmet. Yeah,
Give me that close up.
Clam.
What
I
is it,
like
feet?
clam.
Clam.
I think one of the things
For
that
half a
makes
second, it looked like he'd forgotten his lines when staring at the cream.
He wants that cream.
one of the things that makes Christoph Waltz is he's just like super
I
genuine.
hate that I love this.
Yeah. He's right. God damn it.
I'd love to get paid to eat food on screen.
I don't know. It depends on how many takes you have to do. I know some people get like fucking. Some people like
Josh
spit the
Brolin
food
got
out.
violently ill because during one of the scenes in W, he ate every time he had to eat a sandwich, and they filmed it like 40 times or something, some absurd number, and he ate the sandwich every single time, and was just violently ill the rest of the day because they had to keep filming it over and over and over again.
Hemsworth almost vomits filming the post-credit scene in Avengers because of how much pita he eats during the shawarma sequence.
I mean, that scene alone is great for several reasons. That just skyrockets towards
Chris
top.
Evans hiding the beard that he's grown for Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Should've
But no, I
shaved the
think I'd
beard
be
and
fine.
saved
I
us
mean,
all.
remember, I've got the metabolism of a...
Split down the middle on that one
What a
too.
dumb movie.
Well, I'm pro Snowpiercer, but I'm even split down the middle because I don't really like
You're
the first
split down the
half.
middle for.
I'm pro everything about Snowpiercer.
So we got like all ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Josh.
But yeah, with my, metabolism like a crack addict, I think I'd be fine with eating on screen.
I don't think it's about the
On site.
metabolism. It's about like having to just eat
Yeah.
and eat. Well, it's not about like
We
gaining
already
weight.
got
It's
the
like
shot.
you feel
Angles, Millhouse. Angles.
sick.
I'm sure you have a lot of digestive hubris, but I'm sure we could find your breaking point.
Challenge accepted
just
on
be like
someone
me and
else's
just-
wallet.
Yeah, you can just be like me and just shit it out.
Just just have me sit on a toilet, and I will do this scene.
Not even that. Diaper.
Oh,
Trooper.
I can't wait. Until
Astronaut
those days
that
come.
shit, man. Literally. Well, yes, thank you.
Whoa.
Fuck communism
I think that's what I'm going to do with my. And I know I've talked about it
from Preacher.
like before, but I think that's what I'm going to do with my tax return
Fuck
Take up
communism.
smoking with German cigarettes?
in Paris. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a fuck communism lighter, even though I don't smoke, because that's the coolest lighter in like anything in Preacher.
The reason that he gets pissed about Lillian Harvey, for all you guys that don't know the historical context of that, Lillian Harvey was a German film actress that had to flee the country because she helped several Jewish friends of hers escape. And so, obviously, she, fled herself, and Goebbels, being the head of propaganda, would hate that one of his fucking, lead actresses would up and jump ship, much less help Jewish people escape.
Subtitle: Hey.
If you're wondering how to say fuck in French, listeners, it's putain.
I mean, a middle finger works just as well.
Well, it shows up in the for all those people that are seeing the subtitles where they're saying "fuck." The word you're looking for is "putain."
And any French person that doesn't just understand the word "fuck."
I think "fuck" is pretty universal at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are being American industrialists, or whatever the phrase is. American pig dogs.
Well,
Forcing your swears on other cultures.
Our imperialistic swine.
Yeah. Putain.
Well, thank you, history lesson.
I just love how that's in this fucking movie. Like this little aside, like da 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 da.
Now, Chris, you've worked as a projectionist in the past.
I did.
Ever encountered situations where you've had to be careful with film?
No, in the 50s, they changed the chemical makeup of the film. So after the 50s, all film is completely, not completely, but it melts. It doesn't burn. So, like, you probably shouldn't be around melting film because it's still got, like, toxic fumes, but it's not going to burn the whole mother down like it does in this movie.
Yeah. Nitrate is they took out the nitrate, which is a preservative. Nitrate's also a active ingredient in gunpowder. That's why it's so flammable.
Yup.
It's used in bomb making too on occasions, isn't it?
Yeah. TNT is made of
Am I thinking
nitrate
of
T.
sodium nitrate?
Mhm.
Or is that the same?
Sodium nitrate is salt.
Which is used in all explosives.
Or wait, sodium. That's sodium chloride. Sorry, sodium silver nitrate.
Silver nitrate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Kino, for anyone wondering, because they never really explained what Operation Kino means. Kino's
It's where they go to try to fight Shang Tsung
yes,
and fail.
yeah. Your soul is mine. Kino is the German word for cinema. There's this movie. I mean, even though
it's Magneto.
even though he was in fucking like 300 before this really is the movie that gave us Fassbender too.
Yeah. Should
He
be
was in
Union
300.
Jack. Or Captain Britain.
Okay, what movie gave you Fassbender? Was
No, but I'm just shocked
I think
that
he had the same reaction to that.
he was in 300?
He's the one that says, "Then we'll fight in the shade."
Is he the one that had his polio vaccine or punctured noticeable?
Probably.
Huh. I mean, yeah, no, Fassbender didn't ring out.
Well, there's
me
a
in
lot
this
of
one.
like, yeah, everyone's like,
It's one of those movies. God damn it.
First class.
It's one of those. Sorry. It's Mike Myers.
I do not care for Mike Myers. in
It's
this movie.
unnecessary.
that's an example of stunt casting
Yes.
not working.
Oh, but
Yes.
I like him in this one.
Well, then why do you think you wouldn't like Adam Sandler?
We're on the exactly opposite on this, and I think it proves both of our points.
That it's not for everyone.
Yeah, so for everyone there.
Well, that and he's playing a Canadian in this too, isn't he?
No, he's not a member of the royal stuff thing. He's got the royal stuff thing.
So that's the official lieutenant of the royal stuff thing, then, love.
He's clearly got British stuff on him. Looks like Field Marshal garb. Now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, again, Simon Pegg was.
all the way down.
It's
I
one of those.
saw you.
It's
and
one of those
Simon
movies
from
Well, no,
that-
because Canadians fought in World War II also.
Of
Sure,
course,
yeah.
yeah.
The Michael Fassbender is one of those things where, like, yes, this movie gave kind of like to the American audiences, but it was one of those movies that you go back and you're like, oh, that's right, it's Michael Fassbender. And at the time, you're like, oh, that's cool. He
he's
does
in
a great job.
I mean,
But
this
now
is-
he's like the fucking man. Like,
this
who
might
doesn't love
explain
Michael
why
Fassbender?
when he started popping up in like the X-Men movies and stuff like that, I was like,
Listen.
oh, I recognize this guy from something.
Yeah, like First Class is what introduced me really to Fassbender.
Which
That's
would
where
come,
he became a household name.
yeah, which would come like 2 years later.
And if we're talking about seeing dudes dongers in movies, I have seen Michael Fassbender's donger.
Shame if you're looking to see it.
Yep.
But is it like Bronson Johnson?
It's bigger.
It's fucking massive. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's fucking
It's a
huge.
Fosswanger.
I mean, that thing could have won World War II by itself.
Guns of Navarone right there.
Yeah. It's bigger than Michael Myers in this scene.
But the guy that plays Churchill is Rod Taylor, Australian actor. If you ever saw The Time Machine, he's the guy that operates the fucking time machine from the 60s. Not the Guy Pearce one. And
Okay.
yeah.
That's
The wheels are turning.
Yeah, and yeah, he came out of retirement for this movie, but this was it because he died. Actually, he died in 2015. He died last year.
Tarantino's great at like grabbing, they're not forgotten legends of the past, but these great, and some are unfortunately, but
Yeah.
it's all about remembering the past and honoring the past with great actors and actresses, and he does that, and film in his movies too.
When Tarantino first approached him, he's like, "Why don't you get Albert Finney?" And he's like, "I don't want Albert Finney."
My dongo's massive.
You know who he dated until about a couple months ago?
Fassbender?
Yeah.
Who?
The robot chick from Ex Machina. And I guess Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Well done.
The
Well
robot
done.
chick from Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, she could have been a robot. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what the sequel is. It's early.
We haven't seen all the deleted scenes.
My dad to this day is still like, because he liked it. I mean, that's not his favorite movie, but like, he was like, I cannot believe they made a spy thriller set in the Cold War. How cool is that? And I'm like, yeah.
Doesn't he own Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
Yeah, but like, it's just like,
Didn't
all
you
these.
watch the TV show?
Yeah, but that was like back in the day.
That was during the Cold
Yeah.
War.
It wasn't as monumental.
Everything was set in the Cold War back then. Well, that makes sense.
Even World War II movies?
But like,
Yes.
Even Star Trek? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
all the spy stuff nowadays, is set very much in modern time.
Yeah.
Why are you in this movie?
Why are you always smiling?
Why can't I find out if he's actually playing a Brit or a
He's
Canadian
wearing
in
a
this?
British field marshal uniform.
Yeah, but is he playing a Brit?
Hickox?
One of the guys in the Inglourious Basterds is an Austrian who converted to American.
Converted to American.
if I remember his.
He recanted his.
Would you know that the guy that Stallone is playing in Victory
Mm.
is not an American soldier? He's a Canadian soldier.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But
There
they
you go,
changed that
Josh.
in the movie, though.
What's that?
They changed it in the movie, though.
Yeah, but that's
Just like the guys that help Argo were mostly Canadian.
yeah. Also, in A Bridge Too Far, it's British sappers that take the bridge, not Robert Redford.
A bridge to Terabithia too far?
Yes. Yes. Look at this motherfucker.
They said Till Schweiger channeled his own frustrations having to wear a Nazi uniform for this scene. Because his character is visibly uncomfortable.
Especially
for
wearing
him.
an SS uniform.
Yeah.
Big whoop, want to fight about it?
Wipe my own ass with it.
Now that's impressive.
You're asking a dude who's like sharpening a knife who's killed so many Germans. It's like, yeah.
No.
Can you imagine if Simon Pegg was Fassbender's character?
Yes.
No.
No.
Oh,
I just...
what's his
Okay,
face?
fine, I'll say I just have an issue with Adam Sandler in general.
That's
after
fine.
his most recent films, and
The Ridiculous Six.
that
But-
being one of them.
But Josh, you're
Pixels
thinking
being
about this.
another.
You're thinking about this from now. We know.
We know that he makes shit movies in the future, like in Star Wars. We know. Leia should know
How
better.
do they
'cause
do
we
this?
know.
Leia knows that, or Leia should know that Darth is her father. She doesn't know that until Return of the Jedi. Yeah, but we know.
If you want to have the most frustrating movie experience watching Star Wars, watch it with me going, they should know better. Like, there's like, but Jake, they don't, but they should know because we know.
We know. It's like, Jake, you're thinking about it in a 2015 mentality. Yeah, but we know.
I don't really like Eli Roth.
No, neither do I. I like him in
You
Cabin
all are
Fever.
wrong. You're entitled to the opinion, but it's so wrong.
Till Schweiger, whatever, is in Muppets Most Wanted as, get this, German cop.
That's Diane Kruger from Troy, and I guess what's that one show that she's in with Damien Bichir, The Bridge?
Oh yeah. It was,
Yeah, she's great in that.
So she
the face that launched 1,000 ships.
Yeah, the role was originally written for Natasha Kaczynski, Klaus Kaczynski's daughter, but she turned it down.
Snaps. What are you, in like a sorority?
You get a schnapp, and you get a schnapp. Everyone gets a schnapp.
I like me some schnapps, but anyway, so she had been known for mostly like English language productions, and so when she auditioned for this after Natasha Kaczynski turned it down, Tarantino's like, "But you're not a German actress," and she's like, "Yes, I am."
Way to go, Tarantino. Way
I mean,
to go.
her name,
We know.
Beethoven, Socrates. Look at Fossman. He's like, This is Sam and I were talking about this before we started watching. Like, this is like the second best scene in this movie, in my opinion. Just the intensity of this scene as it boils over.
Well, like I said about like Tarantino wearing his like influences on his sleeves, I think he was kind of taking. I mean, the name of the movie was originally Once Upon a Time in Nazi-occupied France. By the time
Fucking bifocal lens.
By the time you're about to get a bad one, like later, if I remember correctly, like.
Oh yeah.
But the one of his idols is Sergio Leone. You know, his favorite directed film of all time is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But by Once Upon a Time in the West, Leone wasn't interested necessarily in the violence on screen anymore. He was interested in the tension leading up to the violence. And I think we see a lot of that in this film. Mm-hmm. We see a lot more of it in Django Unchained too, but it's all about that just undeniable tension that exists before it goes off like a party popper. They really should have just left.
In military school, we did the European insignia for like officers, so we had pips like that. They only went up to captain, so the 3 pips was the highest.
They do that in Star Trek as well, right?
In Next Gen, yes.
The better.
Yes.
Just because
not
it's
if you're
next
talking to
doesn't
Rob
mean
Zombie.
It's better.
If you're talking to Rob Zombie, it's original trilogy or bust. Also, he's like the biggest Munsters fan ever. Where do I know this guy from?
Inglourious Basterds.
Well, yeah, that is as well as. Oh, wait, is this the bartender? Is he in Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Is that what I know him from?
I've only seen that movie like once, like 4 months ago.
I really hope he screams in this movie. Wilhelm?
Oh. I see what you did.
There are Wilhelm screams in this film. We haven't gotten to them yet, but listen for them.
As long as they're all recorded by that gentleman.
But then it wouldn't be
A Wilhelm scream.
a true Wilhelm scream.
Be a faux Wilhelm.
Faux Wilhelm.
Yeah.
I'm just every time I see the guy, I'm picturing Aaron Eckhart. Is it a rank screw up that gets them caught in this?
No, it's the
The-
way they count to 3 with their hands.
That's
Because Germans have a very specific way of counting with their fingers.
yes, as this film likes to point out.
Yeah. Continental Europeans tend to start with the thumb.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Americans
And
start with
Brits.
the forefinger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The first
they
time
go. They do 3 with thumb, finger, and middle finger, whereas Americans do pointer,
Huh.
middle finger, and ring finger.
That's because I do it with thumb naturally as well.
Yeah, well, you're a Nazi.
The first time my dad saw this movie, when they do that and he does the 3 as the American way, he was like, "Oh, they're in trouble now."
What's weird is I have a very, very ridiculous way of counting with my fingers. I'll usually, like, if I'm counting, like, if I'm just, like, being like 1, I'll do index finger, very American. But,
God, so
I'll-
Americans disgusting.
but, like, counting, I do 1 with my thumb, 2 with my 2 fingers, index and middle finger. 3, I switch over to pinky, ring, and middle finger.
You're a fucking monster.
right? Just wait till you see how I do 5.
Do you want
Oh.
5?
And if you get
It's
past
two-handed.
that,
Yeah.
6 is the real
Two-handed.
trick.
Yeah.
Because I use my dick.
Oh,
I just take my dick out and hold it.
it's
and I'm
another
like,
thumb.
That's 6.
It's another thumb.
Yeah.
True story. I've only seen it once happen.
Chris is
It only
done.
needs to happen once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cox.
You had to be loud.
Das Boot.
Or louder for a German, I guess.
We are humping.
What? We are humping?
Yeah. Yes, it's Christoph Waltz.
Oh, the Humperdinck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a psycho. Die Lampe. We are humping. I love he has like coughs in the middle. He's like la 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 la. Ding. Lieutenant Munich.
Or Frankfurt.
Yeah. Lieutenant Washington, D.C. They all look like so silly with those cards in their heads. I wish Tarantino would direct a Union Jack movie set in World War One. Beast mode.
Burn.
That's impossible.
Till Schweiger's still not having any of it. Just
Yeah.
like, I'm still wearing this fucking Nazi uniform.
Yeah, I just want to be in a Muppets
Still hate.
film.
Yeah.
Wunderbar.
Ja,
will
ja.
kill you.
Wunderbar.
This guy looks like the lead singer of Arcade Fire, aka Win Butler.
Well,
During
Jake,
their really weird experimental Nazi phase.
little did you know, but the lead singer for Arcade Fire is a Nazi.
No, I saw him live. He was a very gentleman.
Hey, just because he's a
Reflector.
Nazi doesn't mean he can't be a gentleman.
Reflector is a great album. I don't want to associate Reflector with Nazis.
I actually really haven't listened to that one yet.
I
really.
think that's the first time I ever heard that explained for that album.
that Reflector is not a Nazi album.
No, that it's good.
I don't know anything about the band because I've only ever heard their name.
You should listen to The Funeral, their first album.
It's a good one.
Neon
Funeral
Bible's
for a
pretty
Friend.
good, and
wish.
their third album.
Just an entire album of them covering Love Lies Bleeding. Sure.
Fuck, what's the name of the third
Love
album?
lies bleeding in my hand.
Suburbs. Suburbs is really good too.
Yeah.
Hammer.
Reflector, I can understand people not liking Reflector, but I thought it was a wonderful album.
I prefer Revolver.
Hey Ray, Volver.
I mean, yes, if we're yeah,
Don't
sure.
mothers.
We're just
make
gonna
good
start
fathers.
talking re-albums.
Revolver.
There's also Reload.
Shut the fuck up.
I once asked for Load for Christmas, and my mom got me Reload, and I was so disappointed.
That's when you quietly like go, Mom, get out.
There is no Santa.
Reload. There's like 3 good tracks on that. Maybe 4.
ABBA.
ABBA.
If I change your mind,
Be the first in line.
Honey, I'm
Take a
still free.
Take a chance on me.
Take a chance, 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 take a chance. Come on, Josh.
What the fuck are you guys singing?
Oh my god.
ABBA, bro.
Greatest Swedish pop band ever.
take that, Ace of Base.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a beautiful
Oh.
I know that one.
It's a beautiful
That's Ace of Base.
oh.
I think I know Dancing Queen.
Yeah,
About
you know
Mamma
Dancing
Mia.
Queen. Here I go again. How could I resist ya? Mamma Mia. Does it show again? How I missed ya.
Well done.
Yes, I've been broken. I really like.
There it is.
It's the theme
Mhm.
from
The whip noises in there. Somewhere.
yeah. That's you know who who does this song? Billy Preston.
Oh, really?
In
Yeah.
the dead of winter, if you stab a man, steam rises from the wound. Native Americans thought that was his soul leaving his body.
Shoot him again.
His
His
soul
soul
still
stands.
dancing. Hi. You know what's always funny is that the pips, like on their collar, like the 3 is for captain, but then on his shoulders he would wear 1 less pip because the actual shoulder bar, like the thing around it, would count as 1 pip. So if you saw a guy with 2 pips on his shoulder, it meant he was a captain, even though 3 pips is captain. So you'll see it with all these guys. Not the major, though.
His rationale for figuring out that it's, you know, either a toss-up between the slaves in America or King Kong is that's how Tarantino reads. Like, that's how what he believes is the analogy to King Kong.
Damn.
Take it up with Quentin.
I think I've told the story before, but we did this once in line for Brandon Flowers' solo show. We put the things on our head, you know, and we were like, had to guess who we were. And I wrote Al Pacino. And like there was a gust of wind, and we lost all of the cards because we were waiting in line. And I swear to God, this is true, and it's fucking still funny to me. As we were going in to go to getting our tickets, to like, you know, after 6-7 hours of waiting in line, there was a woman behind us who had like a huge head of hair, and stuck in her hair was the card that said Al Pacino, and she didn't know.
That's why you got to play just heads up, man, on the
Yeah.
phone.
Thanks to Ellen.
Damn.
That clap from fucking Michael Fassbender's like, I don't like this.
I want to be killing Nazis instead.
Till Schweiger just like, fuck this. If she had just listened to Archie Hickox, everything would have been okay. I think now, thanks to this movie, whenever someone's in continental Europe, no one's going to make them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'd like this.
Have you not seen Inglourious Basterds? You prick. Dude, the wound that Diane Kruger gets in the finger. Ugh.
Shouts.
What's Fraulein mean?
Woman. It's basically a polite way of, like
Miss.
Yeah, miss.
Yeah, and then Mrs. is Frau.
Frau Farbisna.
And the male version?
Herr. Mr. Herr.
Oh, here was where the boom.
Every time it's like, maybe this time he won't notice. Oh, fuck, he noticed.
I just imagine, like, as he does it, just all 3 fingers are shot off.
Like, just like the opening, this could be a scene unto itself.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a beautiful series of vignettes.
Which, again, I think is why he kind of took inspiration from Pulp Fiction. He's like, we'll just kind of...
But at least all these are in
Marco
order.
Polo is on his head.
the entire time.
It's miserable. With Marco Polo stuck on his forehead.
Now that's a boot.
Yeah. Das es Boot. Well, that was just beer.
German beer. Shit is strong.
They're in France.
He might
And they're
still
not drinking
have
German beer?
Yeah, but he might... I'm just saying, they're probably French.
Shame on him if it's French.
To the victor of the spoils? They're technically winning. They've conquered France at this point.
Yeah. If I was in an X-Men film, I could kill you with my mind.
I mean, the first thing he does in First Class is hunt Nazis.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think's bigger, the weapon he's using or what he's pointing at?
You talking about Fassbender?
Because the bartender had an
Because
appropriate...
Fassbender's dick is so big, it's also pointing a gun at this guy's dick.
It's able to... It has dexterity enough to pull the trigger.
Like, it moves out of the way of the bullets. And even if it got hit, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's like getting shot in the shoulder.
I mean, if worse
Just
comes
shake it
to it,
off.
his mutant ability would just pull it right out. I don't think they care about German babies.
What?
Well, Mac's gonna grow up an
If
orphan.
there's-
I don't think they care.
If there's one type of baby I don't give a shit about, it's Nazi babies.
By Jove, old fuck, you got me. simplifies what he's saying.
Well, he also says, like, look, if I'm going to die, I'm going to go out speaking my native tongue.
Yes.
Bring out your dad.
The guy gets his balls blown off and stabbed in the neck.
Yeah.
Good.
Now tell us how you really feel.
Give me the what for?
If you think about it, Tarantino's been doing Mexican standoff since Reservoir Dogs.
Yup.
Why change something that works?
Would you call... I mean, we kind of got into a debate about that, because remember there's like one more person that dies than we see a shot happen for?
I actually looked that up after the commentary, and it if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be Harvey Keitel that shoots him, but the squib goes off too early, and he and they didn't do another take, or that was the best take, or something along those lines. On a nice guy, what's it?
You're saying this is the hardest scene for you to kind of.
I mean,
like,
this is pretty much a bummer of a scene to watch. The finger going a bullet hole. There was another movie I was watching recently where this happens.
Cabin Fever.
El Dorado.
No.
El Dorado.
I think it might have been the Disney Tarzan animated film.
BJ Novak in the back thinking, I should really be back at the office.
Yeah. They explain it off in the show. He claims to go to Thailand with his high school friends, but he actually is like doing a staycation or something. No, he
Yeah.
goes to like Tijuana or something.
Yeah, he doesn't even, I don't think he leaves the country.
Nope, not done yet.
Special effects by or makeup effects by Greg Nicotero of
I was about
Walking
to
Dead
say.
fame.
Whose leg has he really got his finger in?
Hers.
Yeah, just with a little
He's
prosthetic.
just poking at it.
Huh.
That's the German way.
They put 2 of yours in the hospital, you put 3 of theirs in the morgue. That's the Chicago way. What are you gonna do? What are you prepared to do?
Oh, and he's like,
Only a
pointing,
guinea
you want
would bring a knife to a gunfight.
She's like, pointing, you want this? No.
Guinea Road still open in Fairfax, Virginia. Or is that Burke? Either way, Northern Virginia. We wear our racial slurs on the street.
It's the Virginia way.
A guinea is also 2 shillings.
Touche.
So it's a toll road, basically, is what you're saying.
Probably started that way. Yeah, it was worth if it was worth 2 guineas. Yeah, or 12 pence as it's now, because the Brits don't use shillings or guineas anymore.
Shame.
They just use pounds and pence.
And euros.
Just like how we should get rid of the penny.
Yeah, euros are European Union. UK isn't part of the European Union.
Yeah, they don't. They I think they used it when it first got introduced, but they've
Stopped
phased
accepting
it
it.
out.
For if they ever, the thing about the UK is they like to be Europe when it benefits them, and I don't think they were ever like, yeah, let's trade, because
I mean, the pound has always been more powerful than the euro, so it didn't
True.
benefit them to take it on.
yeah,
Okay.
Except for being more international,
yeah.
more
But I think the UK,
continental,
I think the UK kind of pride themselves as being like separated from the continent. They're like, we're good.
physically and politically.
Yeah,
Mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
yeah. The Ireland uses the euro.
Because it helps them financially.
Yeah, because they're not part of, at least Main Ireland isn't part of the UK, just Northern Ireland.
Cool.
There's your bit of, yeah. Let's have a debate if Greece will stay as part of the Eurozone.
Damn it, now I'm going to have to research actual current events.
Is that supposed to be scarring or really bad makeup work?
I don't think he has any.
I mean, no
scars
one
on.
really knows what Hitler looked like.
Yeah, he existed before photographs. Only cave drawings.
And signal flares.
Some say he had tentacles.
Some say he was the tentacle.
Some say he was black.
Some say he was.
They are wrong.
I love that. Yeah.
Some say he fucked a duck.
That's my favorite Eli Roth line in this film.
There was a play in high
What if it
school
was
that I was
Adam
in.
Sandler?
Now
Fucka
I
yabba dabba
understand
doo, duck.
iPhone autocorrect.
Yeah.
It's because of this goddamn film.
Duck a duck. No, there was a play in high school that I was once in where I had very few lines, but one of them was "fuck a duck," and it was awesome. And they wouldn't let me say it because high school.
Which
Gam.
one?
Do you use
Which high
Gam as
school?
leg?
Centerville.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't in theater at West Springfield.
I'm sorry, what did he just say?
Fill your ass up with morphine. Get your pretty ass up that rouge carpet.
A red carpet.
Okay.
Rouge is German, French for red.
And carpet is a poor way to pronounce carpet.
That fucking accent, man.
Tarantino had originally written, like, in his mind it made sense that Aldo Raine would speak Italian, because he's like, well, he's had to work with, like, Italian people, because that's where we first see him in the film, like, after the invasion of Sicily and Italy. And then Brad Pitt was like, he wouldn't change his accent for the Italians. He would still pronounce it as horribly as he does everything
And that's
else.
the
Isn't
funniest.
it
That's the great-
Italian?
Probably, yeah, Italian.
If I
Great.
remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, Buongiorno. That's the funniest moment in this movie for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember it. That's like one of the very few things that like has memes based off of it from this film. This film gets very few internet memes created from it, but the Buongiorno one.
What's your favorite oven frozen pizza? Buongiorno.
Yep.
You never hear them referred to as the Israelites anymore.
No. We just assume people know that.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
Knock, knock.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
If we had to do complete, this is, I kind of like how they make this like a fucked up Cinderella with the slipper. But like, if we hypothetically had to do like a Kevin Smith Legends Month, what
Yeah.
would you guys pick?
Jersey Girl.
Mallrats.
Come back to me.
Chasing Amy.
World's greatest Laserdisc side break.
Where does it break?
Right after they admit that they love each other and it fades to black.
Nice.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a real break, and it makes it really easy to figure out where to switch it. You'd think that everyone would do that, but
Josh, not gonna go with Clerks 2 or Jane Silent Bob Strike Back?
Tusk,
Red State.
Clerks 1.
Though, now that I say Clerks,
Revenge of the
it's
Giant
honestly it's
Face.
between Chasing Amy and Clerks 2.
I always like to watch Clerks every couple years, you know. Just a fun one.
You should watch it on Laserdisc with me.
We should.
I always wish that the karaoke bar had "Putting Out the Fire" by David Bowie.
I thought you were going to say, would you like to suck my cup berserker? Would you like to
some
make
making
fuck
fuck
berserker?
berserker?
You just say making fuck?
I'd choose either Dogma or Zack and Miri.
Yeah, good.
Okay,
Yeah,
those are
very good.
Solid choices.
Zack and Mary's great. You know, you were saying you would love to like go to a chicken waffle house
Roscoe's Chicken
Roscoe's
Waffle.
Chicken Waffle.
with the RZA and Tarantino. She's so beautiful. That's
The
like
RZA
creepy.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
He's the man with the iron fists.
I would love to
Mm.
go hang out with just Kevin Smith somewhere. That would be the shit. Don't get your eyeball. Rambo.
This song was written for the film Cat People, starring Natasha Kaczynski, who again was the original pick for Bridget von Hammersmark.
Like I said, her death is so damn frustrating.
Yeah.
Because she's good at
her plan still goes through, but yeah.
It does, yeah.
Originally, Tarantino had written her to deliver her like little monologue, her film monologue in
So badass.
in French, but she's like, no, it'd be more effective if it was in English.
One of the most like metal Tarantino moments in a long line of metal moments. Collaborating Skull. It's like a fucking prog rock album. Only Tarantino would use like film as a weapon in a movie.
Yeah.
Almost says something about the medium, his take on the medium itself.
Very, very interesting, Samuel. Very interesting. Let me ponder this.
Yeah.
Ponder this. Yes, indeed, indeed. It's very, very.
Let me sit on my own asshole again. Delicious.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes.
Was this Bowie?
Yes. To be fair, when you were talking about it, you didn't say, I wish Karaoke Bar had this song by David Bowie. You just said the title
I
of the
know,
song.
I said, Putting Out the Fire by David Bowie. Rewind the tape.
Yeah, but again, I don't remember hearing you say, oh, this song is Putting Out the Fire by David Bowie. I wish they had it.
Yes, I just randomly associated Putting Out the Fire.
It was
You
by
could have.
David
You've
Bowie.
done crazier things.
It was
I
all
have,
perfect.
even though he's about to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah, he also said it earlier in the song. Yeah, can see the point. Never.
Sorry, I was focusing on the acting.
It's good. It's good. Have you ever seen what's it? Now You See Me?
The Magician film?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's in it.
Yes.
She's Mark Ruffalo's love interest.
Yeah. The
That's goring.
Is it?
I'm trying to remember what agency she works for in the film.
Interpol.
Thank you.
That's getting a sequel this
Yep.
year.
Did Robert Rodriguez direct the who directed the
The propaganda film was directed by Eli Roth.
still
Oh, I'm
think-
not interested in it anymore.
no.
I still think the sequel should
Should've
have been
Adam
called
Sandler.
No You Don't.
Yeah.
Nope. Now You See Me Too.
Yep.
And not even like 2 TOO,
Yeah.
just the number fucking
The
2.
whiff.
Yeah.
I agree. Now You Don't would have been great.
Yeah.
And then like the third one be Prestige.
The best one.
The third one is just the joke's on you.
Your
We've made 3
Prestige,
of
you've
these.
said you've gone on record is like your favorite Nolan.
I might have to reevaluate now after Interstellar, but yes.
Oh yeah. I keep the
That's
sad
on
thing.
Amazon Prime.
The sad thing is I keep forgetting
Was-
that movie exists.
Interstellar or the Prestige?
Interstellar.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember
Was
which
that
one the
good?
Prestige was because
It was
That's-
good. I enjoyed
That's the
it.
one
Hugh
that's
Jackman,
not the
Christian Bale.
Illusionists.
Scarlett
It's-
Johansson, right?
Yeah.
Look at that fan. Yeah. Get it.
Nice long tape.
Get it, fan.
Thank you, Chris. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Passes the Nazi Girl Scouts.
Ooh, where?
They're up at the top of the stairs.
They're
You
out of
missed them.
frame.
Damn. They always have the best cookies.
There's some terrible joke about the ovens that they use that I don't feel like making, but I will acknowledge that it's there.
Yeah, I think all our listeners' minds just went there too.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Is the take still going? I haven't been paying attention. Because that would be really cool.
There's a cut when it first
Ah.
when it
Should've
shows her
foots.
spin around.
Because
Still
then
that-
I would have been like...
He is the happiest looking Nazi there.
Mhm. That's another thing
What?
that makes his... He's the happiest.
It's like the fucking like children's book, The Happiest Nazi
Yeah.
by Josh
Like
Butler.
an old key book, and
Yeah. Having fun at a party.
Because this take is
You
still
guys
going.
never see Christmas Vacation?
Yes.
yes.
You remember happiest Christmas ever?
No, I know what you're.
But
yeah.
it's just the equating it to a Nazi. But he is the happiest Nazi.
I'm not saying he's not having a ball, Josh.
I mean, if he's looking for a good time, just give Sam a call.
867-5309.
Sam, those are two different songs.
He says for a good time call on 867-5309.
But it doesn't say but I switched it to Sam anyway, so fine, whatever. I'll give it to you.
Tommy Two-Tone. I tried to karaoke that once. I was terrible. More than usual.
Damn, such a stickler for detail.
Yeah. That's why he's like a evil Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
He's like a genocidal Sherlock Holmes.
I would love to see.
So like a
Christoph
Moriarty?
Waltz as
He's
as
a consulting criminal.
as Holmes's brother.
Mycroft.
Yeah.
Oh,
Smile.
yeah, like a Mycroft.
But yeah, I would love to see Christoph Waltz as a Sherlock Holmes now that you've planted that seed in my brain. The cacco. Oh, Italians, they do this.
There it is.
Cut, print, give that man a check.
Like I said, originally Tarantino wanted him to speak it kind of more straight. It's like cool.
Yeah, third best.
No, he was the third self-identified third best.
Ciao. Tee-hee.
Tee-hee.
Those were the second and third happiest Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Josh, I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, Sam said that he appreciates it too, but I
Thank you,
got it.
Chris.
They're gonna watch Santo E Blue Demon first.
I hope so. And fall asleep.
After he punches the mummy, like, just off the roof.
You think they got
Which,
enough
you know what?
swastikas?
It may have happened that he punched him off the roof. I don't remember.
I don't remember either because I was falling asleep. Oh, rewinders.
I feel like it should be said, even though this has nothing to do with Inglourious Basterds, at the time of this recording, it's Peter Criss's 70th birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Peter Criss. And now everyone knows when we recorded this because Peter Criss's birthday is general knowledge.
It is. Love that shot.
I love how just uncomfortable fucking he looks. Just now it just sounds like he's speaking gibberish.
This is like one of the most brutal deaths in the movie, and it comes out of fucking I mean, it doesn't come out of nowhere, but it's like pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Also, the hands you're gonna see, Quentin Tarantino's hands. Also, he choked her out for real.
Yeah.
So
I do remember that.
yeah, the look on her face of panic is because she blacks out.
Yep.
Boop. This is some creepy ass fucking Tarantino shit coming here. All about them feet.
Mazel tov, we caught you.
So that's Tarantino?
Yeah.
What a sick fuck.
Is that Tarantino also?
No.
Probably not.
That's a bingo. Why put your hands up? He can't see you.
Oh, the way Brad Pitt plays that.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad to be in his hands. He gets to share time with Quentin Tarantino as well.
Hey, BJ Novak's still in this movie.
World's greatest detective.
So he was a cop before?
Sure. Why not? I
he
guess
just
anyone
said he was
could be a cop.
No, I think he's just saying he's the detective. Like he
He has detecting
Yeah.
skills. I mean, that's like
Like we
saying
saw
that
in the beginning
Batman's
of
a cop.
Yeah,
beginning of the
again,
movie.
it's his powers of deduction, like I was kind of talking about, like with him being kind of a Sherlock Holmes, a dark Sherlock Holmes.
So he's like a PI.
On
Or
the
just detectable.
yeah, under the, I mean, if he was a PI, but I mean, he's clearly military. He's closer to like JAG.
Well, I mean, he said he was a detective and then, like, worked for the Nazis because he was good at finding
I think
people.
he's trying to distance, at this point, given what he's doing, he's trying to distance himself from the Nazis. He's like, look,
Hey, paisanos!
love their pizza.
I like their pepperoni sticks.
Pizza. Now I'm hungry. Damn.
It's pepperoni pizza, but without the tomato sauce, and then it's cut into sticks like breadsticks, and then you have tomato sauce to dip it in.
No cheese, like crazy.
Oh, you know,
bread?
I'm sorry. It's cheese sticks with pepperoni.
Still
That
hungry.
sounds good. Well, I mean, it's not like that was unappetizing.
Unfortunately, Paisanos is closed at this point of the day.
Like how he just kind of slips that in there.
This is a scene where I feel like Brad Pitt, like the kind of
Could tone it down, or
yeah.
what?
Well, I mean, like compared to like Christoph Waltz, what's going on right now, it's kind of like it feels weird.
There's a mismatch.
Yeah.
There's a They're still the Japanese. Nobody gives a toss about the Japanese.
Never let this man play board games.
You've
Preferably keep him away from Yahtzee.
You've planted a seed in my mind, Josh.
Now all I want is to play board games.
I'm telling you,
with
when
Christoph Waltz.
this commentary is over, you have to watch the Sesame Street and you have to watch the Via Humping, the two best Christoph
The
Waltz videos.
Humperdinck is what he's referring
Yeah.
to. Which I still for whenever you just read. As these guys I'm sure are aware, whenever I just hear you say we are humping, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, the Humperdinck. Oh.
Yeah.
But no, we are, too. It's one of the reasons why we don't record this in video.
One.
I don't know. Could we start a RedTube channel?
Christoph
We
Waltz
just put
was
it
like,
on
yes.
YouTube Red. I mean, they gotta pay for that shit,
I
right?
like how Josh is just kind of like,
Exposure, you know.
exposure, yeah, expose yourself, yeah.
I like that he's giving him a glass of wine.
Exposure
and they
for
can't drink it.
exposure. I like it, Sam.
Yay.
Even he agrees.
It is very Audie Murphy, where like Audie Murphy plays himself in his own
Autobiography,
Yeah.
to Hell and Back. Great film if you've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
That is Tarantino saying, we have to destroy that tower.
Ah, there it
That's
is.
his cameo, apart from his choking hands.
Yeah.
It's his dialogue cameo.
For the 40-year-old virgin poster,
Yes.
story of nation.
Stoles their nation. That's pride of the nation's pride.
And 40-year-old virgin.
The 40-year-old virgin was the pride of the nation.
Yeah. Were you pro, because they both came out the same summer, totally fucking, as we've pointed out, tangent, pro 40-year-old virgin or pro Wedding Crashers? I'm 40-year-old virgin.
Wedding Crashers.
That's tough, man. I think I saw Wedding Crashers twice and 40-year-old virgin once, but for staying power, I think 40-year-old virgin.
I mean, I enjoy both.
Oh, yeah,
films,
absolutely. Yeah, but I think overall 40-year-old virgin.
The thing is, I've never been the biggest Vince Vaughn guy.
No, but I think Wedding Crashers is like prime Vince Vaughn. Like that character, that
yeah.
Vince Vaughn character.
It's really just
That's
that
where
and
it's at its
old
best.
school for me and old Vince.
And I think I like old school better. I think? I don't even know. I don't even know.
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
Let's kiss.
I mean, Business Trip wasn't really that great for him.
yeah.
But it has the better Franco.
Yeah,
It has my favorite Franco.
Dave, yeah. Mr. Allison Brie.
Really?
Yeah, they're engaged.
Crushing my dreams.
Same.
Sorry, Dave. Or is Dave?
Not sorry, Dave.
I can't speak for Dave.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Josh.
Who's dating Anna Kendrick? Then that's just a double whammy.
I know, right? Don't even remind me. Actually,
I don't
she
think
might be
she's
single.
Thanks,
right?
Jake.
Yeah. She used to date
Oh.
Edgar Wright, but I don't think she's dating anybody.
That would have been
anymore.
weird. Don't you think that would have been weird?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah. Down there.
Yeah. Do it.
Who has a message for Germany? I have a message for Germany.
Such so badass. What if the Expendables like all of a sudden showed up, like in a time warp? And she's like, yeah.
You know what music cue this is from?
No.
No.
Kelly's Heroes
Ah,
with Clint Eastwood.
that's right.
Clint Eastwood?
Yes. When they're they're basically having the Mexican showdown with the tiger tank.
It would seem that as of right now, a bloke named Ben Richardson is dating Anna Kendrick.
Ah, stand corrected.
Sorry, Chris.
Don Rickles is in Kelly's Heroes too, right?
Yes, he is. So is Donald Sutherland.
Mm.
Agent. It was me, James. I was the author of all
I can't believe we haven't made that joke yet.
Goodbye, James Bond.
It was me. I
Goodbye,
was the rope
Lieutenant
that hit your
Aldo
bowels.
Ray.
I can't believe that the one guy that hasn't seen Spectre is the one that made the joke.
Yeah.
I think,
Well done.
right?
Well done.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It'll be out of
I've seen
theaters, but yeah.
That's right, because you three went together. I was gonna go, but
We spectered together. So was this American or European?
Joint agency.
Okay.
Though it was primarily American because the Brits had MI5 and the then fledgling MI6.
Right. I was curious because he asked for the Congressional Medal of Honor. I was thinking, would they be able to authorize that, even if they
Well,
wanted to?
You know who's on the other end of the radio? You'll hear his voice in a second. It's a Tarantino alum.
Vincent Vega?
John Travolta. Tim Routh.
Oh, Michael Madsen.
No,
Harvey Keitel.
yes.
Boom.
Oh.
Yep.
Suck it.
Well done, Chris. Well done.
I said suck it.
I acknowledged my success with my penis.
Well, then bring it on over here.
Come on down.
Flop. Ah,
There it is.
Well done, Wilhelm. Your scream was impressive.
I'm having second thoughts about being a war hero.
How about being a Nazi? There's your Kelly's Heroes. Like when it's like that moment in the film where they're like panning between the tank and Clint Eastwood. He's basically like doing like the fucking like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly showdown with a fucking Pan's Royal Tiger tank.
They get away with saying shit on Frasier once because they say it in French. Which makes Frasier punk rock as fuck.
What network was Frasier? NBC?
Yes?
Yes.
Sounds right.
Yeah,
What was Cheers?
probably NBC.
Probably. I don't.
Then
Yeah.
I imagine it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's
yeah.
a spinoff.
All before our time.
Really?
really.
The thing is, like, Frasier, like, well, Cheers aired while we were alive, but like,
I remember watching Frasier.
Frasier aired until like I was.
2004.
Was it that
Then-
long?
Yeah,
Way
it
before
was
our
on
time.
11 years.
Yeah.
Because Cheers ended in '93.
Right.
And besides, that's what Nick at Night and TV Land was for.
Yeah, I was always more of a Married with Children and Roseanne guy, in terms of like that early '90s, and then I would move on to like Seinfeld, which we've debated on here before.
What a cold-hearted Nazi. Oh, wait.
Whoa. You said Nazi.
You're right, I repeated myself.
Quoi?
If you think about it, like maybe a third to half the dialogue is in English, which
Yeah.
is kind of rare for a widely distributed American film.
Sarcasm. I enjoy it.
She just killed a movie star.
Video killed the radio star.
Ooh.
I love that song.
Well, in your mind and in your heart.
First music video they played on MTV.
Fittingly.
Ah, bugger, he's still moving.
I just think of that song by Metallica, that shitty "Shoot Me Again, I Ain't Dead Yet." Dun, dun, dun.
So frustrating.
It really is.
It's like Steve McQueen not being able to get into Switzerland.
That's a stylized death if ever I've seen one.
And you've seen one.
Mm-hmm.
I like when the bass strings kick in. Like you get the cellos in a second. Like an oddly like uplifting movement as she breathes her last.
Mm.
It's kind of a very like Edgar Wrightian kind of like kinetic cuts if you think
Yeah.
about it.
I'm trying to understand the mechanics behind that weapon.
When they hit the plunger, it fires. The plunger on the front.
So it's
It's almost
It's
like a
punch gun.
There you go.
Oh,
Those were actual weapons developed by the OSS as kind of like a close range weapon for their operatives.
yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, there's another Wilhelm.
Man, that actor got a lot of work in this film.
I like how he's like gets all emotional. He's like, "Oh." And then he dies.
Cries while beating himself off.
He's like, we're going to pound that ass extra hard tonight. Collective oh shit. Do you think he gets out alive?
I do.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Because I don't know if there's any like rear exits that he like locked behind him. He clearly locked all the front ones. So they obviously like it's a controlled fire that they did for this. It got so intense that if they just falls apart. If they kept it going for another like 14 seconds or so, it would have been become uncontrollable and would have consumed the entire studio. Kind of reminds me of like the Dirty Dozen when they kill all the people in the wine cellar. Because they're all trying to get out and they just like pour gasoline and drop the grenades on them. The swastika falling down wasn't supposed to happen either, but it gotten so hot that the support beams fucking melted.
It's the look of a man who enjoys his work.
Have you seen the Green Inferno?
No.
Good.
No. You couldn't
Put it that way.
pay me enough
I love that. How it starts projecting on the smoke.
to see that
It's
movie.
like fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Na 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 na. Dun, 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 dun.
Again, makeup effects by Greg Nicotero.
I do
Walking
enjoy
Dead
that.
Poor fucker on the bike.
Poor fucker who just happened to be standing in front of a window.
I guess.
Boom goes the Nazi.
Probably was a Nazi. So.
Yeah. Fuck 'em.
Oh, don't. They might enjoy it.
Now that I watched that again, I don't think he makes it out. The
Camera
Yeah.
or Marcel.
I think it's part of like they none of the they all
plan to just go up. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we know who is
Best way to
standing by
make
the
sure it
window.
all burns is to burn with it.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his career.
I mean, that's what you do with spiders.
Yeah.
You blow him up out of a window.
Every time.
Burn the whole place down. Well, time to find a new house.
I've always thought about moving to the desert because there's less creepy crawlies. They get tarantulas though.
Yeah.
Scorpions.
They get worse creepy crawlies.
Yeah.
At least here in this area, most of them are mundane and just like bite you and it irritates your skin for a while.
Yeah.
Camel spiders.
It's not like.
But
though,
it doesn't kill you.
Is like Australia the worst though for creepy crawlies?
Yes.
I hear the Middle East is pretty bad too.
I don't think there's anything in Australia that can't kill you.
Yeah. Especially the kangaroos.
Wallabies?
Have you seen a wet wallaby?
Koalas?
Have you seen a wet koala? All koalas have syphilis.
That's what killed Nietzsche.
A koala with syphilis?
A man isn't a man without Nietzsche. If you think about it, do they even really need him?
No.
No.
Josh, if you're looking to look away, probably get ready to look away.
Just the scalpings.
Not the carvings.
No, surprisingly not. That's pretty tame in comparison.
He's a big fan of live Nazis getting their just deserved.
You were saying that this was Greg Nicotiro's hands?
Yeah, I think so, or at least one of the other special effects guys, because it had to be done so carefully and precisely. Yeah.
I don't remember them showing that much in the theater. I this is the first time I've seen it on home video, but no.
I wonder what happened to the rest of the bastards. Like, not Dominic or fucking Bear Jew or the other guy that blows up, but like the rest of them. Did they all get killed in the capture of these guys? Of Udovich? Did they even go to Paris?
Probably not. I think only the ones we saw there in Paris were the ones that went.
I always wonder, because Tarantino has always been kind of reticent to share we get some of the deleted scenes on the DVD, but certainly not a whole hell of a lot. There's a lot of stuff that was part of the premiere that never saw the light of day again. Maybe one day, Quentin.
The world may never know, Sam.
Yeah. Didn't somebody devise how many licks it would take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Yeah, one of those MIT-esque colleges that has nothing better to do made a
like
robot,
MIT
made a robot that licked a Tootsie Roll Pop, and it counted how many licks it took.
So the world did find out.
Yeah, scientifically.
by a robot, though.
I'm sure they worked out the math. That's what they fucking do. But yeah,
because they have nothing better to do.
Yeah,
They could build a person to do it.
build a person.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Victor.
all four of us are completely capable.
When you put a peen
half
inside of
building
a
person.
gene.
Yeah. So yeah, this was Inglourious Basterds. What do you guys think? Kind of revisiting this one.
Shit. And by that I mean I like it.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's always enjoyable.
Any words from you, Josh? You picked it.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Good day to you too, sir. I said good day, but the it's a joy. I think from a technical standpoint, it's Tarantino's best. Maybe not my favorite, but it's damn close.
He just needs to stop using them bifocal lenses.
Yeah,
Definitely gets me excited for Hateful Eight.
Well, next week's film will get you even more excited, maybe, depending on how you think about it. That's right, because next week we finish our little celebration of the Hateful Eight with Django Unchained.
Woo!
This
The
has been
Django
Silent
Fett.
Hillbilly.
this has been another Geek Out commentary. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
I'm Josh.
And we'll see you guys next week to close out our little Tarantino month.
Bye.
Good night.